So that WNBA Unrivaled starts Friday. The Cavaliers. No, but seriously, this video will be for Friday's slate of NBA games. At the end of the video, I will give my opinion on the Unrivaled games. They have released a spread and a money line, and that is it. I think they're afraid to put props out there because they have no idea. They don't even have an over-under for total points. As of right now, maybe they do try to do something, but I doubt it. But after the video, I'll give my opinion on that. I don't want to make just a separate video for that because it'd be pretty short. So this will be for Friday's NBA slate. We do have a large slate of games. I have a few picks for you that will be in this video. Check the pinned comment. If I see anything that I like later, I will put it in the pinned comment. There may or may not be a pinned comment. We will see. So I want to talk about the teams on a back-to-back, and I was kind of surprised. I know we had a smaller slate on Thursday. The Thunder absolutely crushed my Cavaliers, and I knew the Thunder were going to play well defensively and at home, and the Cavaliers were going to struggle a little bit with that. I did not expect the Thunder to shoot that well. I knew they would shoot better, but not that well, and just run the Cavaliers off the court. So back-to-back, the Thunder will be playing on the road against the Mavericks. They look like the only team that will be on a back-to-back. So you will see images that come up on the screen right here. That's from a data app called Outlier. There will be a link in the description that will give you a 7-day free trial for Outlier. I do like Damian Lillard over 22.5 points at -120. A matchup is against the Raptors, who give up the 5th most points to the point guard position. He has gone over in 5 out of the last 6 games. Playing pretty well, and overall history this season, he's hit this in 70% of games. Head to head, he went over in 1 game this year with 25 points, and then 2 out of 3 games last year. And then home games this year, he has gone over 9 out of the last 10 home games with a 75% hit rate at home. So like Dame, here at home against the Raptors, hopefully it's not a blowout. The Raptors did play pretty well against the Celtics last time that they played. I do believe the Raptors are very talented. They do have a good group of guys. Emmanuel Quickly won't be playing, but they do have talent with Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Jakob Poeltl's not that bad, and Emmanuel Quickly. So they do have guys. They just they've been in and out with injuries, so they've been pretty bad as of late with all those injuries, but they're all getting healthy. So if you guys could please like the video. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you just leave a comment for the algorithm? You can just say anything, and it just gets the video out there for more people to see. And also, if you want to get away from Prizepicks and get away from those flat lines and all that, and try more dynamic payouts, more options, check out Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, ChalkBoard, or BETR. BETR will match your first bet up to $250. The rest will match your first deposit up to $100. Links are in the description. That will take you there with the promo code. Promo code is FINALROUND11. So this next pick is going to be Mark Williams of the Charlotte Hornets over 15.5 points at -129. The matchup is the Bulls, who play at one of the fastest paces in the NBA. They give up the 3rd most points to the center position. You'll see he's kind of been off and on, but he came back from injury, and his minutes have slowly gone up to where he's playing 28 to 30 minutes a game. And when he's really on, he plays about 36 minutes like he did last game. So you'll see he had 24 and 31 points the past 2 games, and he has been really inserting himself into the offense. An offense that has a lot of good scorers. Brandon Miller is questionable, so that would help if he is out. But guys like Miles Bridges, he can score, and obviously LaMelo Ball can score, but he gets the easy buckets. He gets points off of dunks and pick and roll, offensive rebounds, all that kind of stuff. And it used to be just get a ton of points in like 20 minutes, and his line would be at like 12.5. But now he's really getting the minutes, and it's starting to show. So head to head, he's played the Bulls twice this year. He went over in one, under in the other. But if I move down here on Outlier, you'll see the one he missed with 15 points where he hooked. He played just 17 minutes. So if you put just add on 10 minutes if you want to there, I believe he gets one more bucket and he hits in both of these games. So I do really like this matchup for him. In road games, he's gone over in 5 out of the last 6 road games. You'll see his minutes have increased, so his points just keep on increasing. So really do like him in this matchup versus the Bulls. And then this next game, we got to talk about the Jazz. They have a lot of injuries. I mentioned this before. So they're missing Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Johnny Juzang. Walker Kessler is now going to be out for this one. Lauri Markkanen is out, and Micah Potter will be out. So a lot of people are going to be looking at Keontae George, and for good reason. He scored very well when they were out, and they're going up against the Pelicans, who do give up a lot of points. This does have blowout potential because the Pelicans do have some guys that can score with DeJounte Murray, with Trey Murphy, with CJ McCollum, with Zion Williamson. They can run up the score pretty quickly. The Utah Jazz did kind of hang pretty well. The last game that they played, I believe it was against the Hornets. So I want to point out again, but his lines are not out yet, is Bryce Sensabaugh. He is a scorer. He comes out, he takes a bunch of shots. He had 12 points, I believe, in the first quarter. He finished with 19 in that game. So we'll see where his line comes out at. It came out last time at 16 and a half, I think, and it ended up dropping, or 17 and a half. It ended up dropping a couple of points when Keontae George was ruled that he was going to play. So keep an eye out for his line. But the Pelicans give up the 8th most points to the power forward position. Last 4 games, he has 19, 16, 27, and 34. So with all these guys out, he may even start. He's been coming off the bench, so we'll see what happens there. But just a ton of injuries there. So before I get into this next pick, I want to shout out BetMGM. You can get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets for your first bet. Just want to go ahead and shout them out. There will be a link in the description that'll take you there with that promo. This next pick will be Trey Murphy on the other end of things. You could go with DeJounte Murray. I do like where his points line is at. He is questionable to play, or I believe it's more of the probable side. But Trey Murphy has just been on a heater as of late. I like him over 20.5 points at -125. Jazz give up the 7th most points to the small forward position and the 3rd most 3-pointers made, and that's his bread and butter, is just making a ton of 3-pointers. He's gone over in 10 out of the last 12 games. Head-to-head, he went under in 2 games last year, played 24 minutes a game, and now he is averaging 36 minutes a game. And in home games, he's gone over in 6 out of the last 8 home games. So hopefully the Jazz can keep this competitive, or him and Murray, McCollum, Zion, they all just score a bunch of points really quickly, and they hit their lines. Trey Murphy has been that guy to get out to a hot start. So going with him for this one, and that's over 20.5 points. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to talk about some of the Unrivaled games. If you don't want to stick around, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. You can hop on in there to talk about the NBA. You can talk about the Unrivaled in there. There's a WNBA section. I might upgrade that a little bit, or you can talk about NFL, all that good stuff. That is free. You can just hop on in there. Link is in the description. And before I get into those games, I do want to do a recap of Thursday night. I did have Jared Allen over 15.5 points plus assists. I finished with 13 points, 0 assists. Clearly, it was a blowout. They put their shooters out there at the end of the second quarter to try to get a run going, and it just wasn't enough. The Thunder just kept scoring. So I believe if this was a competitive game, he more likely goes over, but it is what it is. Then I had Jalen Durant over 9.5 points. He hit that. pretty easily. And then in the pinned comment, I've got Jordan Poole at 19.5 points. He got his 5th foul at the end of the 3rd quarter. They were down by 20. They made a run to get within 3 points. They never put him back on the court, and he ended up missing by 1 basket. So the Unrivaled, apparently the coaches sat down in a room and they put the rosters together without knowing which rosters they were going to be coaching, and then they were supposed to be even. They put them based off position groups, and then they picked and they mixed them all together. But when I look at the rosters, I do not see even rosters at all. I think they should have had the coaches kind of draft the players, take their best player that they can, and we probably would have ended up with more even rosters than the way they went about it. But with that said, we do have the Mist versus the Lunar Owls. So the Mist, they have Breanna Stewart and Jewell Loyd. If you paid attention to WNBA at all, you would know Breanna Stewart. She's an MVP. Jewell Loyd is a good scorer. They do have Dejanay Carrington, who is a good defender and can shoot. Rakia Jackson was a rookie last year. She can shoot. She's a good scorer. She has her moments and her spurts, but she can take a back seat. Then they have Courtney Vandersloot, who's a good passer. Can knock down a 3-ball every once in a while, but not necessarily going to blow up the scoreboard or anything like that. So really, they're just Breanna Stewart, Jewell Loyd, and then a little bit of Rakia Jackson and Dejanay Carrington. But on the other side of things, for the Lunar Owls, they have Nafisa Collier, who was in the MVP conversation. Skylar Diggins-Smith had her moments where she was scoring a ton of points, getting a ton of assists. She can distribute. They have Courtney Williams, who had her moments with the mid-range shot, scoring a ton of points, getting a ton of assists. She rebounds really well. They have Alicia Gray, who's a good scorer, can shoot the 3 and create her own shot. And then on top of that, they have Cameron Brink, who got injured, but was a rookie last year, but she was on a tear defensively at her size at 6'4". She was getting a ton of blocks. Her fantasy score was a lock. She was just getting so many blocks. So her on the defensive end is going to be huge. And then they have Shakira Austin, who also is a young center who can score and rebound really well. So I really like the Lunar Owls. You could go spread or money line here. So I think the Mist kind of have the better player with Breanna Stewart, but she's kind of even with Nafisa Collier at this point. And then the rest of the roster is just more in depth with the Lunar Owls. So I would go with them. And then the Rose versus the Vinyl. So the Rose have Chelsea Gray, who's a good passer. They have Angel Reese, who isn't going to be, shooting the ball well from distance. She's a good rebounder, as everyone knows. But in the paint, she doesn't have very good post moves or anything like that. She just racks up a bunch of offensive rebounds, just kind of throws it up there. They have Lexi Hull, who's a good shooter. She's not going to create her own shot. And then they have Kalia Copper and Brittany Sykes, who can create their own shot. They're going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting and scoring. You don't have too much offense there. You don't have much defense. And then on the other side of things with the Vinyl, you have Aaliyah Boston and De'Erica Hamby, who are very good bigs, who are very good off the pick and roll. Hamby can shoot threes. Aaliyah Boston did really well with Caitlin Clark, and she can score in the post. Much better than Angel Reese can. And then they have Arike Gumbawale, who is a scorer in her own right. She's a bucket. Ryan Howard is a bucket. She does have her cold days, but those two can create their own shots. And then you have Jordan Canada, who is a scorer and a distributor as well. So I really like this Vinyl team over this Rose team. So I would go with the Lunar Owls and the Vinyl for these first 2 games of the Unrivaled. So that's just my thoughts on that. I'm going to get this edited and get it out to you. God bless you all. It's fun around. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.